What's up, house groups? I am in Minneapolis this week, as you can probably tell from looking out the window behind me at this beautiful skyline. And I got a whole bunch of meetings trying to raise a little bit extra, build the future money to help us with the elevator and some HVAC stuff and some parking lot stuff. Really just my favorite part of my job, but it'll be good. And while I was up here, I got the chance to preach at Renovation Church. It's one of the churches that helped launch Revision 9 years ago for my friend David, who was running the Twin Cities Marathon. While he was running, though, he lost his ID, and so now we just have to call him Dave. That's an identity joke. I did actually preach for my friend David, but he didn't lose his ID. I just made that hilarious identity joke because this Sunday, Josh talked about the importance of knowing and understanding our identity in Christ. I don't know, I think if you're a parent like me, you see how critical identity is on a daily basis. I just watch my kids be shaped by every word that's spoken to them and every wind that's blowing in their culture. Just regularly, I'm having to speak into their identity because they're just like, Billy said I'm ugly, I must be ugly. And you're like, oh, who put Billy in charge of anything? Or they do badly on a test and like, well, clearly I'm stupid. And they like internalize the idea that because I did bad once, I must be fill in the blank. And on the flip side of that, occasionally they're like, you know what? I did good today. Maybe I'm the greatest human that ever lived in the history of the world. And I have to speak into that identity as well so that they can be and become who God created them to be. But I've realized I have to continually speak into their identity because they are always living out of their identity. And it's easy to see in kids. It's a little bit harder to recognize in myself, but I think I have the exact same problem. I listen to a whole lot of voices that tell me I am something other than who God says I am. And frequently what they tell me is that I don't deserve the love of the Father, that I'm not really loved, or that at the very least I have to earn it. That I got to do better and be better and achieve more for God to really be proud of me, for God to really care about me, for God to really love me. And I've spent entire seasons of my life striving and fighting and straining to earn a love that God already says I have. And I remember one time in particular, I was doing youth ministry and was just really feeling like I wasn't good enough at the job. I wasn't good enough at being a husband. I wasn't good enough at being a father. Like nobody really loved me. They just wanted something out of me, and that God didn't really love me. He was just wanted something out of me, and I wasn't even producing that. And then we were at this youth retreat, and the band sang a song. I think it was by Elevation Worship. I don't even remember the whole point of the song, but the bridge was just these words: I am loved. I am loved by my Father. I'm forever yours. I am loved. I am loved by my Father. I'm forever yours. I am loved. I am loved by my Father. I'm forever yours. And I began singing it because I love worship music. I'm singing and singing along. And the girl who was leading worship at this youth retreat just kept singing it. It got to the point, like worship leaders love repeating stuff, but she had sung it 10 or 15 times. We spent 3 minutes, 4 minutes, like it felt like forever, and she just kept singing, I am loved by my Father, I'm forever yours. And eventually, like a couple minutes into it, I just broke down crying because the first 3 times I sang it, I can sing the words, I can go through the motions, I can check the boxes, I know what good Christianity and good worship looks like, but I hadn't internalized it. And in that moment, as it wrecked me, I realized that I had been living out of an idea that I was something other than loved by a good Father who tells me that I'm loved, by a God who literally gave his life to have me in his family. And I wonder how many of us are in that spot right now. I think probably most of us have been there, or we're chasing love, or we're living out of this identity that we're not good enough on our own and that we have to earn it, and then there's something more we need to do to get God's love. And it robs us of life, and it robs us of peace. And so what I want to remind you tonight is that just because you're you, just because he dreamed you up and knit you together and created you on purpose for no other reason than that, not because of anything you've done or deserved or earned, just because you are you. You are loved. You are loved by your Father, and you're forever his.